Hello, sports fans. Welcome to another edition of VetsPlusSports.com. This is your host, Terrell Cool Beans Davis, along with my co-host, Mr. James Miller.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing this Saturday night? Hope everybody's doing well. We'll get started with this episode. And just in case we may have a guest pop in, we don't know yet, but our buddy Mark Wanzel may be in, maybe not. If not this one, maybe next Saturday if he can get in and talk some hockey. But before we get started, I'll let Cool Beans give a shout out to our listeners.
Yes, we'd like to thank our listeners for those that come on to watch the live and for those that have watched the replay. We thank you for that. For our audio show, we like to thank our top cities: Ashburn, Virginia, Falkenstein, Germany, Grinzek, Weiland, Germany, Brussels, Belgium, San Jose, California, Boardman, Oregon, and guess what? For the first time, we had a new one this week. I looked up and I seen Washington, D.C.
Wow. Yeah, awesome. That's awesome.
Washington, D.C. was on the list.
So thank each and every one for tuning in, for listening to us. Hopefully y'all, I know y'all been probably watching some football this weekend. There's been a lot of upsets in college already. So we'll just get started right now. We'll jump into the NBA with some scores and stuff that's going on right now, and maybe go over some scores from last night. As of right now, you got the Magic and Pistons are playing. Magic is over the Pistons, 103-81 right now with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. You've got the Bulls and the Grizzlies are playing in Chicago. The Grizzlies are up 63-60 with a minute left in the second quarter in that game. You got the Trailblazers and the Rockets are in Houston. Trailblazers up 44-37 with like 3:51 left in the second. Hornets and the Bucks are in Milwaukee. Milwaukee 54-49 over the Hornets right now. And the Warriors and the Spurs are playing in San Antonio, and it's at the end of the first. And the Warriors 39 and the Spurs 17 after the first quarter. And the only score that's final right now for the day, and what in the world's happening to your Knicks?
I know they lost to Utah.
Utah, who's only got 4 wins, they lost to Utah Jazz 121-106. And then later tonight at 10:30, the Nuggets and the Lakers are playing.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
I think that'll be a good one. The Nuggets need a rebound. They're 8-6. The Lakers are 10-5 right now. I'll go over some scores from last night, and then we'll.
Lakers would be so much hotter if they just bring Bronny back.
I know. Yeah, right. They send him off and they start winning. Here we are last night. You had the Nets playing the 76ers. 76ers won 113-98.
The Celtics, Sixers won a game.
Yep, they're 3-12. The Celtics beat the Wizards 108-96. The Warriors over the Pelicans 112-108. The Bucks over the Pacers 129-17. The Bulls beat the Hawks 136-122, and the Rockets 116 over the Trailblazers. Well, they played the Trailblazers and they beat them 116-88. The Mavericks beat the Nuggets 123-120. And then the Clippers beat the Kings 104-88. That was scores from last night. The NBA has started and still young in the season, but we'll keep up with it as we go along each week and everything. But you got anything you want to mention there with the NBA?
Nothing with the NBA, but I did want to mention something because I made a big deal out of it last week. I don't know if you caught on, but because last weekend was your birthday. And guess what? We're actually 10 years and 1 week apart because today is mine.
Happy birthday, Cool Beans. I did not know that, and you kept that from me. So
yeah, I did. That's what we were talking about earlier about the steak and crab legs.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Well, happy birthday to Cool Beans.
Well, thank you.
And both of ours fell on a Saturday this year. So
yeah, we're actually 1 week apart.
So happy birthday, and Hope you had a good birthday today.
Oh yeah, it was good. I did mostly nothing.
That's the way it is. We'll go ahead and rest and relax.
I felt older today because when I first got up, I had to put the icy hot on the shoulder. When you first getting up, you're getting old.
Well, you mentioned a minute ago. I'll go ahead and go over some scores. We forgot all about it. I was thinking it was another week away as college basketball has started. Um, I'll go over some scores from today. You got Illinois, number 25. Illinois was playing Maryland. They beat them. Illinois beat them 87-40. You had Marshall playing Purdue, and Purdue's sixth in the country, and they beat Marshall 80-45. Marquette beat Georgia 80-69, and Cincinnati beat Georgia Tech 81-58. But that's the top 25. Let me go to some other scores here. We'll run down through those real fast. Let's see here. Got some games going on right now. I'm gonna get to some finals here. Stephen Austin, they beat Youngstown 64-57. UNLV over New Mexico State 72-65. Kent State beat Cleveland State 68-52. You had LaSalle beating Stetson 92-77. You had Florida International beating Cal State 76-73. Delaware over Vermont. Vermont over Delaware 75-71. Let's see. Here's a lot of games. Let me just scrolling down through here. Mention some others. Bowling Green beat Bellarmine. No, Bowling Green got beat by Bellarmine 80-68. And let's just see here. DePaul beat Northern Illinois 98-52. Temple over Massachusetts 87-80. And I think that's the only score. There's all kinds of scores on here, but that's only a couple I'm going to run down through right now. But basketball season has started. The Mountaineers are 3-1 in basketball. For those that don't know, they got a new coach this year. They had players transfer in. They should be able to contend this year. Last year they had a horrible season because they got rid of their coach and then players left, and it was a bad season all around for the Mountaineers last year. So right now, the rankings go like this as of right now for college basketball. And then this is no surprise. Kansas is at number 1. And UConn number 2. Make sure it says men's, yeah. Gonzaga 3, Auburn 4, Alba State's 5, Purdue 6, Houston 7, Alabama 8, Kentucky 9, North Carolina 10, Tennessee is at 11. You got Duke ranked at 12, Baylor at 13, Creighton at 14, Marquette at 15, Indiana at 16, Arizona at 17, Cincy's at 18, Wisconsin 19, Arkansas 20, Florida 21, St. John's 22, Texas A&M 23, Rutgers 24, and Illinois rounds out the top 25 in men's basketball. So that's where we're at as far as basketball goes, and everything. But you got anything else you want to mention with that?
No, Gonzaga's always up there in the basketball. And I was like, so Gonzaga must not have a football team because I never hear about Gonzaga football. So I was looking it up while you was talking about. No, they got a football team. I was like, they must be bad.
I've never heard of them. I thought they got.
That's what I said. It says Gonzaga. What you got? Let me see when it's from because it might be from the 80s or something. Oh, they're just going to get a football team. It says Gonzaga will be joining the Pac-12 in 2026. So they'll be getting a football team.
You mean the Pac-2? Well, they'll be the Pac-3 then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think they had one, but Gonzaga's always been good in basketball. It's a basketball school. and they are up there. And the last 4 or 5 years, Purdue has emerged in the Big Ten up there in basketball. Kansas has always been the big dog
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to basketball. Two schools you've seen here in recent years kind of slide back is Duke and UNC, North Carolina. Them two used to be up there at the top, along with Kansas, but they've
Yep.
they've kind of fell back a little bit the last couple of years. But they're always going to be right there and right there being able to contend. And so we'll see how the season goes with it in college basketball. So let's go ahead and jump to college. We'll do college football, and then we'll go ahead and hit hockey after that.
Cool beans. They give
Um,
Wanzel some time.
we'll go over some scores here. Like I said, as a start of this, it's been upset weekend for college football. I'll run over the some scores right now. Some games that are in progress. You got Army and Notre Dame. They're in the third quarter with 10 minutes left. Notre Dame 35, Army 7. They did get on the board, so
Yeah.
we got an upset alert in Wyoming. Boise
Uh-oh.
State and Wyoming are playing, and it is 10-10 in the third quarter with 6 minutes left. Boise State is number 12 in the country. And now I didn't remember. I don't know if I remember. Can't remember if I mentioned this on the audio during the week. Talking about the playoff format. See, they had a playoff format because the first 4 teams gets by.
Mm-hmm.
They had Boise in that number 4 slot as a bye over one of the Big 12 teams.
Yeah. You and I talked about that at work. We didn't say it on the radio.
Okay, I didn't think I couldn't remember if we did or not, but that's kind of messed up. I mean, they're coming from a weak conference. I'm just going to say it's weak compared to the Big 12, to the SEC, ACC, and the Big 10. That's your power conferences, and you're going to put them slated ahead of a Big 12 team. I mean, come on now. But now they're in a dogfight with 2-8 Wyoming. At Wyoming, it is 10-10 right now.
And you know what? Remember last time on the audio show when we was putting our picks, I said every time I went against Boise State, I lost. So I went for Boise State. They just might lose it.
Then we got another game in progress right now at halftime. You ready for this? Alabama and Oklahoma. Oklahoma is winning 10-3 at halftime right now.
Oh, man, we picked Alabama.
Hey, that's how it goes. And then here's another upset alert. You ready for this? At halftime, Texas A&M and Auburn. Auburn is winning 21-7.5.
Oh, man.
Right now in the third quarter out there at Utah, woo! Those Iowa State's beating Utah 17-13. Those Utes are still talking crap. They're talking crap. They're talking crap about the Big 12 conference now, the one they just came to, the one that they was just supposed to run completely through. They saying how trashed it is. Big 12 is trash. Well, yeah, y'all can go somewhere else if you want. And I mean,
I know, right?
You can go to the WAC, the MAC, or Mountain West Conference, wherever you want to go. We'll pack your bags for you. Here's some finals right now. Ohio State all over Indiana, 38-15. There was some controversy with some people there at the end of the game. To me, I didn't see no big deal in it. There was like a minute left. What's his name? The running back for Ohio State. He broke a 20-some yard run. He could have scored a touchdown, but he slid down at the 1 to eat up some clock because there was a minute left.
Right.
Well, instead of kneeling the ball, Ohio State they faked the kneel and then the quarterback sneak in for a touchdown. So Indiana's coach, he didn't care for that. You could tell that too. He just waved his hand at him like that. But to me, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that running back could have scored anyway. He could have got his touchdown.
Right. But here's the thing. I go with the quarterback sneak for the scoring and the reason being is because especially this year, as tight as it been, you need those scores because in the event, because we got Oregon up there, Oregon can lose.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden they're back to trying to figure out who the number one is. And if everybody has the same bum record, let's say they all have 8 wins and 2 losses. They got 4 teams with 8 wins and 2 losses. They're going to go by the point system. Who had the most points?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to they had to score.
I didn't see no big deal in it. But there's a lot of people did and everything else. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, he could have scored with a minute 20 seconds left in the ball game. That running back could have. I mean, that would put him up. That would have put him up 3 scores anyway. So
Yep.
I had no big issue with that. I mean, they can say it's running the score up or whatever, but I mean, stop them. I mean, you're a number 5 team in the country. Just stop them. Texas beat Kentucky 31-14. Penn State. Here's a team that keeps just getting by the skin of their teeth. Penn State beat Minnesota 26-25. And I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. And I don't know what the format's going to be because you've got one more week left, and then you got the conference championship. So there's 2 weeks left. Penn State will get beat the first round of the playoffs. They will exit the first round of the playoffs.
I can see that. Yeah. I can see that.
So they're going to exit out. They just keep barely getting by. And some of these announcers on ESPN and all these other talk about how explosive offense they have. I've yet to see. I mean, it's nothing impressive. I mean, it's an offense that moves the ball, but it's not like it's something that's electrifying. Ooh, I got to watch. I must see TV. But they keep skating. They just barely keep getting by.
They're not the old Nittany Lions because the Nittany Lions, I remember they had Saquon Barkley, but before that, they had somebody that was exciting. Like, I'm trying to remember. Back he was in the 90s. Somebody was tearing it up and for the Nittany Lions, but I cannot remember who it was.
There was somebody I think in the 80s. I remember. Well, I don't remember. I see highlights. He's a West Virginia boy. He was from Pineville, West Virginia. Kurt Warner. West Virginia did not draft him. I mean, did not recruit him. So he went to Penn State and he ran all over him.
Dang.
But I can't remember. I remember I know the other one. I just can't think of his name. But I'll run these other scores down here. You got the Miami beating Wake Forest 42-14. Ole Miss. All right. Remember, I talked about this when we done our picks during the week.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, Ole Miss was going to Florida. I said, watch out. This is an upset alert right here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Gators beat them 24-17. And that'll knock Ole Miss's chance for the playoffs out. They're done.
I think we both picked against Ole Miss.
Let's see here. Yes, we did. We both picked Florida. Florida won. And so, and I don't know why I had it marked as an X, but they did. We both picked Florida. Florida won. Then Georgia beat Massachusetts 59-21. Tennessee beat UTEP 56-0. SMU beat Virginia 33-7. That puts SMU in the ACC championship. They could be making the playoffs.
Yep.
They can go if they go and win the ACC championship. That gives them a spot in the playoffs.
And they'll beat Penn State.
Yeah, they probably beat Penn State. And then here's our upset alert right here. BYU got beat by Arizona State 28-23. And then our man Dion, he disappointed me. I think he's got 3 losses, and those 3 losses I picked him to win, and he loses. They lost to Kansas, and I mentioned to look out. This was a upset alert because Kansas done beat Iowa State, who was ranked. They done beat BYU, who was ranked. And now they come the first team ever in college football to be under 500 and beat 3 ranked
Ranked team.
schools
Oh,
3 weeks in a row. 3 weeks in a row. So now Kansas has got one more game, which I don't know who they'll play. Let me check real fast. Kansas won 37-21. And Kansas plays. They need to win this coming weekend, and they'll be bowl eligible. And they play Baylor, which I'd say they'll beat them. It's like Kansas got their act together halfway through the season. If they was playing like this at the start of the season, they would have been contending with the Big 12 championship. They would have ran all over. They would have killed West Virginia in Morgantown. But yeah, they got their act together a little late, or else they would have been right up there with them.
right.
I'll go over some of these other scores. And then I'll mention this from Friday night. It was UNLV playing San Jose State. UNLV was 24th in the country. Me and you picked San Jose State, but UNLV won 27-16. We missed that one. And then we missed this one here. It was close, though. Number 25, Illinois beat Rutgers 38-31. Rutgers was winning most of that game.
I know, because I went for Rutgers.
I went for Rutgers, too. Missouri beat Mississippi State 39-20. South Carolina over Wofford 56-12. And then you had Clemson over Citadel 51-14. West Virginia wins today. And I'll get on that here and make some West Virginia fans mad, which I don't care. It don't bother me one bit.
That was a surprise for me too, because I was like, I think that we both went against West Virginia.
It was like some
fans. You said they never won down there. Wait, no, this was in Morgantown. This one, wasn't it?
Yeah, this was in Morgantown. Some of them fans think their opinion's the only things that matter, but anyway. Right now, you got Baylor and Houston. They're playing in the fourth quarter. Baylor's up on Houston 17-10. Now, get this. Baylor wins this, they go to 7-4. And they're playing Kansas next week. You got Iowa. I done mentioned that. Iowa State right now, it's still in the third, 17-13. Kansas State's playing right now. They're beating Cincy 20-3. It's getting ready to go to halftime. And then TCU beat Arizona 49-28. Texas Tech all over Oklahoma 56-48. And then West Virginia ended up beating UCF 31-21. I watched very little of that game because I was watching Dion and them play.
Right.
Now, West Virginia is 6-5. They'll get a bowl game. Some of these fans are, we're going bowling. We're going to a bowl game. It's a meaningless bowl game. That whoever we're going to play is going to have players sit out. So you're playing backups. It don't amount to nothing. Some of these fans are happy to have Neil Brown and to go 6-6 because they're not going to win next week. You hear that, Mountaineer fans? They will not win in Lubbock. They are not going to beat Texas Tech.
That's the one that they're supposed to lose, Texas Tech. Yeah.
And then I think Green only threw for like under 120 yards passing. So, I mean, y'all fans, and the thing is, y'all want to keep Neil Brown. That's mediocre. He went 9-3 last year. The 3 teams, winning teams on the schedule, we lost to. All right, so the 3 games did you need to win? You lost, and you beat a North Carolina team that didn't have their quarterback because he was setting out because of draft Mayo. Yep. And their receiver, they didn't have the receiver, so you beat a second-string North Carolina team, and so you can put an asterisk beside that 9-3 because they wasn't a good 9-3 team. And then some fans are going to say, "Well, we was 5th in the nation rushing." Okay, 400, 1/3 of those rushing yards, 400 yards came against a poor Cincinnati team, and a third of those rushing yards came against four teams that only had like 3 wins. So
Didn't they lose to Houston last year?
they lost to Houston last year on a Hail Mary. So, I mean, yeah, they lost to Houston in the 3.
And Houston had a losing score, a record, I think, last year.
Yeah, they had a losing record. So, I mean, I think Neil Brown's gone. He's going to be gone, and for you fans that want to keep him, y'all don't. And that's just like I said on that. Y'all don't know football. I mean,
I don't know why they try to make this last effort to try to keep him.
This is his 6th year at WVU. He's only 3 games above 500. He's never been ranked at all. He's never beat a ranked team since he's been there. And you got fans some fans still wanting to keep him. So
he never won. They say he's won the 6 years he's been there. They lost homecoming every year. 6 years. That was the homecoming we went to, and he lost.
Yeah, but I don't know what's wrong with these fans. I mean, I don't get it. And like we said we've mentioned in our podcast before. I've mentioned by year 3, if you do not see a team improving some, I'm not talking about going 10-1 or pulling a Deion Sanders, because that's very seldom what Deion's done.
Right.
Which I'd said this would probably happen because Deion's a good coach. I figured he would next year. I thought he'd go 8-4 last year, but he went 4-8. 4 of those games he lost less than 6 points, so he was close to going 8-4 last year.
Mm-hmm.
But after 3 years, if you don't see some improvement with that team or that program, that's not your guy, and he's not going to change that program around. It just ain't going to happen. And so that's what you have there in Morgantown. I'm looking for there's 2 coaches. I'm looking for them to possibly be in Morgantown. It's either Jimbo Fisher. He's a West Virginia guy.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to come here. He's waiting for them to contact him. He said that himself. He would like to coach the West Virginia team. Or Rich Rodriguez, who's already been there.
Yeah, he's been there. Yep.
He's a West Virginia guy. But now it used to be 50-50. The fans didn't want him back. Now it's like 70-30, 80-20. And then you still got the small portion of the fans that don't want him back. But he has won everywhere he's been except for Michigan. He left West Virginia, went to Michigan. His system didn't work too well in the Big Ten at that time, because he was trying to run the same thing, the option read run, and at that time in the Big Ten, that wasn't working. He goes to Arizona. He wins in Arizona. He's in Jacksonville down there now, winning in Jacksonville. He wins everywhere he goes. He can recruit. He can coach. So I figure that's be one of the 2 that's going to happen. But I'll tell you this: there was not hardly anybody. It's a senior night. There wasn't hardly any fans in the stadium.
Wow! Oh, that's right. I remember y'all saying about senior night.
So they bring him back next year. Their ticket sales are going to drop dramatically. So I'm gonna go right now with Marshall and Old Dominion. They're at the getting ready to start the 3rd quarter. Marshall's winning 17-7. We both had Marshall on that.
Yep.
Hopefully they can hold them off. And then let's go over here to our picks over in the ACC. We had Duke and Virginia Tech playing each other. Right now they're in the 2nd quarter. They are getting ready to go to halftime. Duke is winning right now 21-17. Duke's got the ball with the minute 42 left. They're at their 20 though, so they got to drive the length of the field.
Right, I'm trying to remember. I think I went for Virginia Tech.
You did. You got Tech. I've got Duke on that one, and then we'll go with the Pitt game here. My goodness, you had Louisville. I went with Pitt, and Louisville pounded Pitt 37-9.
Ooh, buddy. Ooh. I didn't think it was going to be like that. I picked Louisville because Louisville lost the week before. I said, "Oh, they ain't not gonna lose 2 weeks in a row."
So that's our picks, and that's the games right now that is going on. And some of these games will be finishing up here in about an hour. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm still getting stuff popping up from them group chats on Facebook. ruffling some feathers. You gotta like it. All right, we'll go with talk about some hockey. Like I said, we was hoping Wanzel, he was going to try to get on here. Maybe he got busy, or he's like one of us. He's a vet. Yeah.
Yep, totally forgot about
He
it.
probably forgot. That's veterans forget everything. That's part of the process of being serving in the military. Here, I'll go over some scores right here. Right now in the third period, you've got the Golden Knights playing the Canadians, and the Golden Knights are up in the third period 5-2. You've got the Canucks playing the Senators. The Canucks are up 4-1. The Bruins over the Red Wings 2-1. The Stars over the Lightning right now in the third period 4-2. In the third period, you got the Utah Hockey Club 6 and the Penguins 1.
Yeah, they need a name.
Yeah, we gotta give him a name. I mean, come on now. At least Utah Mountain Peaks or something.
Yeah, that's
I mean, come on, Hockey Club. All right, and it's in the third period in I guess it's the Washington Capitals. It's the Devils and the Capitals. It's 3-2. You've got the in the third period, you got the Hurricanes over the Blue Jackets 4-3. Third period, you got the Jets and the Predators playing. Predators up 3-1. The Blues and the Islanders are up 2-1. They're just now starting to the third. And the Sabres are playing the Sharks. Sharks up 2-1. There are 6 minutes left in the second period. Here at 10 o'clock, you got the Rangers and the Oilers will be tipping off on at that time at 10 o'clock. And a couple finals, we got the Blackhawks and the Flyers. Flyers come on top 3-2. The Flames beat the Wild 4-3. The Kings beat the Kraken 2-1. And the Avalanche over the Panthers 7-4. And that's the scores that we have from today. And let's go over, take a look at the standings right now. In the Eastern Conference, conference, as of right now, you've got the Toronto Maple Leafs. They are 20-12-6. Let's see. The
first number is, should be games played.
Games played, yeah. They are 12-6 and 2. And then Florida is 12-8-1. That's your top two teams in the Eastern Conference. The Metro playing in the Metro. It's got the Hurricanes are 14-5-0. And the Jersey Devils behind them at 13-7-2. Western Conference, you've got the Winnipeg Jets. They are 17-3-0. And Minnesota Wild are 13-3-4. And then with the Pacific, you've got the Flames are 12-6-3. And then you got the Golden Knights who are 12-6-2. That's just a couple teams in each conference with the standings. We'll try to keep up a little bit with that. And I did see something tonight, Cool Beans, a stat that was brought up, and it was talking about Wayne Gretzky, one of the greats.
Mm-hmm.
He scored his 1,000th point in game 423 in his 423rd game, and he was only 23 years old.
That is like,
that is
you played a
mind-boggling.
lot of games between ages 19 and 20, 18. I mean, like, ooh, he played.
And you think about that, that's just mind-boggling. And then you just look at some other sports, like with baseball with Greg Maddux. Some of his stats is just mind-boggling. You had, I think, who was it? Nolan Ryan, who pitched, who had, what was it? Nine, I think, seven no hitters. He had 9 1-hitters and never won the Cy Young Award in his career. It's just stats like that. Who was that? Was that Wilt Chamberlain that had
100 points in a game?
100 points. What was it? Like 100 points, like, what was it, 40, 50 rebounds, like 20, 30 assists. It was
Yeah,
something.
he was killer.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
100-point game.
and it'll never be beaten again. It showed them stats, and it's something that takes a player 5 or 6 games to get. He done it in one game, and it's just stuff like that that sticks out, with players.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to think Ovechkin, Ovechkin. I can't think of his name. He's pushing Wayne Gretzky's goal record, but he is out right now. And I was hoping to have Wanzel on here tonight to talk about him, but we'll get him on here in the next few weeks, hopefully. But that's all I've got, I think, right here going on of hockey. Let's see if they got any news on. I think that's about it. You got anything you want to, before we move on?
Nope. It's getting time to talk about my favorite one.
What, those Cowboys?
They'll be winning this weekend. They're going to win because I went against them.
Oh, man. All right, let's see here. And what in the world is this?
No, they play the Giants. I didn't go against them on the Giants. No. Or do they play Philly?
Yes. No. Hold on. I'll tell you.
I forgot who they play.
And I will say this. We missed Thursday. Well, yeah, we missed Thursday night's game bad.
Yeah. We thought Steelers was going to win that. And actually, it was up until.
Well, they played, and I don't know what's happening on this page here, but they played in a snowball. I watched the whole game. The first half was a total different half compared to the second half.
Yeah.
My family lives from up there in Cleveland. They said they ended up getting 10 inches of snow that night.
Wow.
But that second half was nothing but a blizzard.
Yeah.
And everything. I tell you what, I like Jameis Winston. I like his enthusiasm and his outlook and everything else. But I don't know how much more winning they're going to do. But that was just it's like what happened to Pittsburgh.
Right. But you know the thing about Jameis Winston on that game? He showed that he's a player. He showed that you would think he was from there because he played in that snow. This guy is a Florida dude. He went to Florida, University of Florida. He got drafted when he first came in the league. He was drafted by Tampa Bay. Then when Tampa Bay let him go, he went to the Saints. And now he's just finally in Cleveland. So now he's up north. And now he
played in the snow. He was like a little kid at Christmas. He was excited to be playing in the snow. And he showed up. He did enough to win. But, I mean, that game, and that's like I said, I've talked to one of my buddies. And I know I've mentioned it on this podcast. These Thursday night games don't produce on the short week. I don't think they produce. Their majority of them they're no good. I mean, they're just not good games. But that snow game, and that was a low scoring game at halftime.
Yeah, it was.
But them the games ain't producing, and we're gonna see what happens this week. For instance, all right, you got games tomorrow, and you got teams playing Thursday for Thanksgiving. Then you got the Chiefs turn around playing Friday on Black Friday.
Yeah, that's they got the Black Friday game.
So you got these games and everything else that's going on these short these short weeks, I still think X out the Thursday night games, play Saturday or something. Do something else. I mean, I like the 2 Monday night games they was doing. Do 2 Monday night games on Monday night. All right, it's all about money. It's all it is. So if you want to make your money, play 2 games on Monday night, play 2 games on Saturday night, and then let the other games play on Sunday. Because there's a lot of times there's games I want to watch here in West Virginia, since we don't have a football, a pro team. The games I want to watch, I can't get because we're either going to have the Steelers, the Browns, the Bengals, or Carolina. That's the 4
sometimes
teams.
we get the Ravens. Sometimes we'll
get
the
Ravens.
Ravens.
I can't forget the Ravens. Yeah, the Ravens. That's 5 teams because these are the closest local teams for us. So, that's the games you get. But we'll see. You talking about money and everything else. I mean, if they would do that, two Monday night games, you can do 2 Saturday night games, and then do the Sunday games. These and don't do these 4 days rest. It's not working, and the players are getting hurt. And I think that's part of it as well.
Yeah, and then they talk about next year the 18th game they want to add. It's getting ridiculous.
It is, and I'm looking on here, Cool Beans, and you did not pick your team.
It was the Giants. Oh, that's right. They're playing the Commanders. That's why I went against them.
Yeah, you went against them because the Commanders. Yeah, that's right. They're playing the Commanders,
but I'm going for them when they play the Giants.
So here's some news right now. Let's see here. Oh, did you know this about the Giants?
Oh, yeah. They benched Daniel Jones.
They released him. They let him go.
Oh, I didn't hear about release.
I was told that I need to double check that. I was told by one of my buddies that's in our fantasy leagues that I'm in like 4 or 5 with. They said he was released, but I hadn't double checked that.
That might be
right here it is.
I heard that he was benched, and
right here
said something about he would come bounce back next year as somebody's backup.
They cut him. They cut Jones. He's gone. He is not a Giant no more.
Wow.
And it's like my buddy said, if somebody could pick up a pretty decent quarterback with him, if he's in the right system.
But here's the thing. That is the wrong thing to do. The fact that they cut him means that the owner needs to fire the general manager and the coach, because they are the ones who made it a priority to sign Daniel Jones to that contract during the offseason and let Saquon Barkley go to the Eagles.
You've been saying fire Dable for a year now.
Yep.
And they're firing players. You're fired. You're gone. And you're like, so.
I think it's this era we live in right now. It's just like nobody takes accountability. Everybody looks for a scapegoat. Dable they cut Jones pretty much as he's the scapegoat. Like Dable's not doing. Dable's been the problem since he's been there. Year 1, they fired Jason Garrett. Year 2, they fired their This is year 3 for him. And now they cut Daniel Jones.
And they have no line.
Yeah.
Just like Carolina has no line. So what do you expect a quarterback to do? I mean, unless when you have a no line offense and your line can't block, unless you have a Lamar Jackson, or unless you have a Michael Vick or an RG3 his rookie year who can run and get away, you ain't going to do nothing. And you don't have too many quarterbacks who can take off running. And if you look at Patrick Mahomes here in the last 3 or 4 years, he don't run now.
Exactly, yeah.
He don't run. His first couple of years, buddy, he would take off, but he don't run after that ankle injury. But the thing is, if you have no line, it don't matter who you got. You can bring him in. You gotta get some blocking. And they don't have that. And then you look at here with the 49ers right now, Brock Purdy's out, Bosa's out. 49ers season is done.
Oh yeah, they're finished
It's
too.
done. They're done. They're done. So here's the 49ers who you thought would be contending for the Lions for the NFC Championship, and that's not going to happen.
The two contenders in that division who will be fighting for the division lead is Arizona and the Seahawks.
That's who's going to come. Unless the Rams start coming back. The Rams got the pieces.
Yeah, they got the receivers now. They got
the
the receivers back.
And it could be we'll see what happens with that division. That division's turned into it's like funny how each year they flip-flop, the divisions flip-flop. But we'll go here right now with and I'm wearing my Chiefs stuff because in the morning we're going down to Carolina to watch the Chiefs play.
Yep, that's right.
And I will say this. I've done been to 2 Chiefs games, and I'm 0-2. Carolina.
You're gonna get a letter from Mahomes. You're gonna be banned. If this goes bad, you're gonna be banned from Chiefs games.
Carolina's coming off a bye, so they've had 2 weeks to prepare for the Chiefs. Nah, it ain't gonna happen. There's no way. There's no way.
You know what? It could happen. You know why? They're coming off a bye, and I just got this text just came in on my Instagram. Says Daniel Jones is gonna be their starting quarterback.
Well, he'd be running for his life too because the Panthers don't have a line either. But we'll go over some of them games. It's coming up tomorrow. But the game Thursday night, you had the Browns knocking off the Steelers 24-19. Which now as a Chiefs fan, I need those Buffalo Bills to lose one more. Because we got to get a little cushion for that number 1 seed.
Right.
Because we need that number 1 seed. You got the Vikings playing the Bears. That's at 1. That should be a pretty easy win for the Vikings. You got the Lions at the Colts, Patriots at the Dolphins, the Buccaneers at the Giants. That should be an easy win for the Buccaneers since they got a new quarterback.
It's I forget what his first name is, but the last name is DeVito. I wanted to say so bad. It's Danny DeVito. I keep wanting to say it, but
it's DeVito, yeah.
But I don't know what the first name is.
He's played some good games at times. He come in when Jones was out.
Right.
So he may be able to move the ball, but I say the Buccaneers will go ahead and they'll take that
Trash
easy. Yeah. And then
Put them to sleep.
You got the Commanders and the Cowboys. They should be playing that at Dallas because you can just go ahead and mark that up a loss. But the only 3 wins for the Cowboys have come away. So,
yep.
You got the Chiefs at the Panthers. You got to think now too. The Panthers has got Bryce Young started back.
Yep.
And you know what? I got to watch some of his highlights from last weekend. You know what I think his problem is?
He's also short.
Yeah, he's another Garrett Green. He can't see over the middle of the line.
Uh-huh.
I think that's his biggest problem.
That's Kyler Murray's problem too. He's short. He can't see over the line. That's why a lot of his passes he rolls out.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. And you cannot survive in the NFL like that. I mean, you got to be able to do a pocket passing, stepping in, throwing across the middle, stuff like that. And look, I mean, it ain't fair well for Murray. I mean, he's still playing in the league, but how many playoffs have they went to?
Exactly.
I mean, so it don't fare well. I mean, short quarterbacks don't fare too well in the NFL when you got 6'5", 6'6" linemen.
Now we can actually go. I'm gonna have to do some research and we can talk about it next week. But I'm gonna look at how many short quarterbacks so much as even went to. Oh, well, I can't take that back.
I got two. I got two right now. Doug Flutie and Drew Brees.
Well, Drew Brees is still 6 foot.
He's like 5'11", ain't he?
Oh, he might be 5'11", and you know how to. Because I remember when I was in football, I was ranked 5'8". I'm only 5'6". So he might really be 5'11". They had him at 6 foot.
Drew Brees is right at 6 foot. If he's 5'11", I think right at 6 foot. You had Doug Flutie.
Yep.
So, and I know we're probably missing a couple others in there somewhere, but the thing is, they don't fare too well when it comes to, you know, them trying to pocket pass. I mean, that's the reason they got to
Yep.
move them. So you got the Panthers and the Chiefs playing. You got the Titans and the Texans, Broncos and the Raiders, the 49ers and the Packers, the Cardinals and the Seahawks. That's going to be a big game there. And this one here, 8 o'clock tomorrow night, you got the Eagles and the Rams in LA.
Come on, Rams.
The Rams are 5-5. And yeah.
On a 6-5. I'm about to say 5-6, but that's wrong direction. We're going to 6-5, Rams.
Yeah, we need the Rams to win and need the Commanders to win. So they got a tie, which the Eagles would hold that tiebreaker until they come and play again, and then the Commanders beat them the second time.
Yep, that sounds like a winner. Yep.
And then Monday night, here's a big game Monday night. Big game. You know, here's my thing. As a Chief fan, I should be rooting against this team, but I like Harbaugh, and this is the Harbaugh bowl game pretty much. I like Jim. The Ravens are 7-4. I think the Ravens are going to lose this game Monday night. I think the Chargers are going to come on top. The Ravens starting to get away from their run game with Henry the last couple games.
I did pick Harbaugh to win that game because
which Harbaugh?
Oh yeah, Jim.
No, you got the Ravens.
I did. Oh yeah. No.
You picked the Ravens. I picked the Chargers.
Well, I guess I'll go with the Ravens still.
And then
I think I went with the Ravens because I don't think they're gonna lose 2 weeks in a row.
That's
what I did.
And then you got the Rams beating the Eagles, and I got the Eagles beating the Rams. So we'll see what happens with that. We're getting down to the nitty gritty as far as once you hit December, you only got a month left of football before the playoffs start. And man, where's this?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this season has went by fast. It seems like it just started.
Not
and
fast
now,
enough for certain Cowboys. So it's not fast enough.
I will say this though: at least you didn't say this is our year. Like some,
I know, I sure didn't. I was like, I didn't have any hopes from the beginning when I seen that Quinn left and McCarthy was still there. I was like, oh, Jerry, that's screw up number one.
And he didn't make no moves in the offseason.
Yep, no offseason moves. That was screw up number two.
So, well, you got anything else with the NFL?
No, I got nothing with the NFL.
Well, I guess we're getting close towards the end of this podcast, this other episode. And I'm excited because I get to go take the family down in the morning. The kids will be the first time going to NFL game. And it's supposed to be good weather. So, excited for them to get to go. The two girls that are going, they're just worried about Taylor Swift. they care less about a football game, but and it's the oldest one, my oldest one, who's 21. I said,
but Taylor don't go to away games, do she? I only seen her at the home ones.
Yeah, she went to New York at one time, and New York doubled the prices on her tickets.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Everybody was talking about that.
And then last night, I checked on Vivid Seat just to see if they dropped the prices for them tickets. Oh no, they haven't. They're still the same. So they still got tickets on there going for cheap tickets for $200. And it's because they're. And here's the thing: she's going to be at the game, but you ain't going to see her. Who cares? She's going to be in a press box up there.
Exactly.
You ain't going to see her. My 21-year-old daughter. Well, hopefully they show her on the jumbotron up there on the board. I'm like, really? Oh man, I'm going to say this, and then we'll end this episode. I seen a thing there on Facebook. It had Taylor Swift in a Josh Allen jersey. I said, Please, Lord, let this be so. Let this be true. Let her-
I think we was talking at work. I don't know who I was telling. Did I tell you that it was a rumor? I only seen it on IG that one time though. That they had a secret marriage.
Yeah, you told me about that. But
I never
yeah,
did go back and try to verify that for be true or not, but
I don't think that's true.
I was going by the way he's playing. It might be true.
Well,
This play is just
me,
totally slacked off.
well, he's doing too much. I think it's to me, he just needs to go ahead and retire after this year because his focus is not football no more, and it's showing.
Yeah.
He's doing movies, he's doing commercials, he's doing game shows, he's doing everything else underneath the sun. You just need to give up football and let it go now, because his production it started going down last year and it's went down again this year. His focus is not on football, so he just needs to go ahead and give it up. And because I mean it's showing on the field, and they got a rookie tight end there with them with Gray and a couple others, so they'd be all right in the tight end area.
Yeah.
So it's time for him to move on. He's done had his time there, unless he wants. I mean, you got to put that other stuff aside till you get done football or something, because it's taking effect on your play. But you got anything else?
Nope.
Well, it's like I always do at the end of each episode. If anybody's out there thinking about harming and hurting themselves, there's a quick number you can call, 988. Also seen there at our work, they said when you call that 988, you hit 1. I guess that takes you directly who you need to talk to. And that's the Veterans Crisis Line. It's 1-800-273-8255. Give that a call if you're thinking about hurting yourself, and they'll get you in contact with the people you need to. Or if you're near a local VA medical center, go to the ER, and they'll get you in contact with the resource that you need. So keep in contact with your battle buddies. Any change in behavior or their mood, talk to them. Try to get them to get some help. You got anything, Beans?
I got nothing.
So I guess that'll be it for tonight. And we're gonna be on we'll try to do something, because you got Thursday, you got Thanksgiving, and so I may be out of town Wednesday, so we may just skip till Saturday.
Yeah, we'll just go with next Saturday. No radio show Wednesday.
All right, no radio this week. We'll be back live next Saturday at 9:00 p.m. Y'all have a good night and a good weekend, and stay safe, and we'll see you then.
Okay.